Relax, 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 relax. Oh, relax, 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 relax. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop, whole game in the chokehold.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Miami Dolphins. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. On 1st and 10, Murray. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. You think back to all the interceptions he threw last week. Here we go. First play of the game, another pick.
And you know that all week long, they spent time breaking down exactly why he threw the interceptions. Was it mechanics, bad reads, not enough study? Sometimes you just think about it way too much, and that leads you to the next one.
Time to refocus. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he was able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Charles Harris in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play call, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they have to devote at least a second guy to him trying to keep him away from their plays.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, That's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'll be at the end today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number one in their conference.
I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
On first down, Murray. Now he'll let it go deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Eric Ebron, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first quarter lead. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Flush to his right. And that is incomplete. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Back deep, Isaiah McKenzie. And this kick will be touchdown as they spot it inside the 45-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
That one goes for 24 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down at the 28. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Parker unable to get that one. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On second down, here's Wentz. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Working from the gun, Wentz eluding the pressure right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off at the 40. And there he goes again. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up first and goal. First foray into the red zone for Miami. They've got it first and goal at the 7. Here's Murray. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Well, the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a third down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They have the great starting field position, now facing third down. Now this time he'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. Well, they're going to try this. They need 5 full yards to hit the end zone here on 4th and goal, but they're going for it. Murray now. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. So after the INT, here's Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Keith Marshall, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins add on to their lead.
And that's another route the defenders would vote to take out of the game.
A wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
On second down, here's Miller. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a third down. From the gun, it's Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Here we go on 4th down with Wentz. Being chased out left. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. Now Wentz. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And here's Marshall. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught at the 25. A big play there for the Dolphins. 49 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. To throw again, Murray. Forced out to his left. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's a give to Miller, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Now Wentz on third down. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. We'll come back to Miami after this. And out come the Dolphins now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Buying time to his left. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken...
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now he's going to let it go deep. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Setting up the screen for Miller. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's third down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
The Eagles on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Wentz. Flushed, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. So now here come the Dolphins. And with great field position here, chance for some points before the break.
That's prime real estate. Just have to decide how they want to try and take their shot to try and put those points on the board.
Now let's go. Green 39.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The final shot before break. Murray, he's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is. Right?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Wentz to throw on second down. Bryant with a catch right side. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He'll have a first down past the 40. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. It's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
Yeah, you don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Nice 5-7.
Wentz now on first down. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Carry now for Lamar Miller. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. The tackle made there by Dayon Buchanan.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
From the gun on third down, Wentz flush to his right. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. On the return, it's McKenzie. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. throwing on first down. Murray. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Zadarius Smith able to drop him for a loss of 4.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now, look at 56. Look it.
Throwing on third and long. Murray. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Throwing on first is Wentz. Incomplete. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Here we go. Back, back. 120. Great 15. Great 15. Black.
Back to the air on second down. Wentz. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Back to throw. Murray. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Zadarius Smith in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discredited.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Zadarius Smith in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Going deep here for Parker. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them play.
Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game, and we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray. On the left side, this is Stills. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A very solid gain of 27. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the gun, Murray. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. He was looking for Parker that time, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Eluding the pressure right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Looking to throw. Murray. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. On 4th down, Murray. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jaleel Adai. Trying to get it that time to Stills. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown of the 2-point conversion. Field goals aren't going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice gain, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. A big play, 3rd and 2. This crowd dying for a stop. Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Steps away to his left. He completes it to Bryant. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. Bryant has it. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Wentz now on first down. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Wentz going to throw. Flushed out right. Room to run past midfield. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 43. Throwing is Wentz. Dancing to his left. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got him. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. To throw on 2nd down, Murray. Over the middle, complete. That's Marshall. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Here we go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. They'll roll him out right. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jaleel Adai. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trusting his quarterback and trusting his offense.
But still, he's got a man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 32 that time.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Inside of a minute to go now. 2 timeouts left. Still in pretty good shape.
I think they're in excellent shape here if they use the timeouts judiciously and use the sideline as an additional timeout.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. Eagles coming up here on a third and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Charles Harris in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Now down by 5. They've got to go for it here on fourth down. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And it's looking like the Dolphins are going to win the football game. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10. Inside the 40. It's a pickup of 13, and with that 13 yards, this ball game just about over.
First play of the drive, a first down run. Well, that sets you up for whichever way you want to go. Do you come right back and run the football again because you've got them on their heels? Or do you play chess match with them, break tendency, and go play action and go for the big shot?
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Dolphins, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Hey, I ain't folding under pressure. I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling all my bros. Ain't no. But don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp. I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. Shorty wanna me cousin wearing gold. I came up and made it happen. I was by the stove. Big